Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. So you know what we're going to be doing. We are going to do what I haven't done in a while. We haven't done story time with Mr. Whitaker in some time. So we're going to do story time with Mr. Whitaker. So in the theater of your mind, I would like you to walk with me. You have a man, let's say his name is Peter. And let's say he's about 27 years old. And he's got a homie, a friend, and her name is, shall we say, Sally. So we have Peter and Sally. They're relatively the same age. And Peter has this really big idea. He wants to start this big effort, this humongous effort that he thinks would be not only nationwide, but global, where young people can learn about politics. And Peter pitches the idea to Sally, and Sally says, man, this is phenomenal. And so Peter and Sally, they're running around town, then they're running around the region and state, then they're running around the United States, getting donations, getting people excited about this vision that they have to interact and engage with young people, help younger people understand these complex ideas in a way that will sway them to move in a certain way politically. And Peter and Sally are successful. They are really successful. They take this idea from a coffee table napkin idea to something that is really, dare I say, a force of nature. It is, people know it. People know about Peter. They know about what Peter is doing. Peter's doing events. You and Peter are working together with others, and you all are doing conferences and workshops and events where you're engaging with the young people and you're pushing young people to change their ideas and to think. And it becomes, very, very well known that this organization that Peter and you have been working on is really great. And people see you and Peter as a great work team, and you all are great teammates and everything like that. But Sally, in the back of her mind, she would love for Peter not to just be her teammate, but to be her mate and to be her husband. In the back of her mind, she would love to be married to Peter, because they work together, they understand their ins and outs and their little quirks and stuff like that. They've been around one another from hotels to airports, restaurants, conferences, donor meetings, and all this kind of stuff. And Sally just sees herself as, man, we make a great team in the business sense, but boy, we would make a better team as husband and wife. Well, Sally has this in her mind. And maybe she ruminates on it and she thinks about it a while. And in her mind, she really is solidified that this is going to be a reality. Peter is going to ask her to be his wife. Now, Sally is, spoiler alert, Sally is a different ethnicity than Peter. But that's not been any issue any other time. So Sally just kind of sees that as not even that's not even up for debate. No, that's not even it. And so that being the case, Sally thinks that she's a front runner, if you will. Sally sees herself as, when Peter's looking around for a bride, I'm gonna be on his side. That's how she sees it. And so Sally, in her mind, she has kind of concocted this idea that Peter one day is going to reach out to her to be his wife. But something happens. One day, Peter meets another young lady, and let's call her Marcia. And Marcia is the same ethnicity as Peter, okay? But there's a big difference between Marcia and Sally, and everybody can see it. Marcia is definitely much more, shall we say, easy on the eyes. She actually ran for a pageant at one time, and she actually was like representative of the state that she's from, and is a pageant queen. So she wasn't a slouch by any means or measures. And so Sally starts seeing herself in comparison to Marcia, and Sally realizes what everybody realizes. Peter is going to marry Marcia. He is head over heels about Marcia. I mean, she's a looker. Okay. She's easy on the eyes, but even more than that, their faith is blended together quite well. And their desire to grow a family, which is one of the things that Peter talks a lot about, like get married. I think he said something about, he liked to say, get married and have a lot of kids, more kids than you can afford. That was kind of one of his little catchphrases. So he can see himself marrying Marcia and having a whole bunch of kids and growing and raising a godly family. And Sally isn't really in the picture like that. And when you add to the last component, Marcia is really willing to be like that support staff wife, that help meet that, the Lord said in Genesis, whereas Sally is more like, running alongside, like she's competing, not completing. You get me? So Peter decides that he's going to start dating Marcia. Sally, his running mate, his homie, she's really not feeling that. She's not really excited about that. She's, and dare I say, even upset, because Marcia has now stepped into the place that she should have been in. Marcia's going to reap the benefits of this wonderful organization that they've built that's now global, has sites and locations all around the world that you have helped Peter build. And now Marcia's going to be coupled with Peter. So there, I say she'll be the heir apparent to this organization, and you feel some kind of way. You're feeling some kind of way. Sally's feeling horrible about this. And so Sally decides that she's going to leave this organization to get away from the organization, because really deep down inside, Sally resents Marcia, because Marcia took her place. Marcia took her place. And what Marcia and Peter have, they start having little people soon thereafter. Now, Sally finds herself a husband too, and Sally's having children as well. So she's not out there, she's found her man, her person, and she should be happy. She should be happy. You got a man and you got kids, you got a family, grow and raise your family. But always in the back of her mind, she's always looking across like, she got my man. She got what I should have. And the organization that Sally helped Peter kind of spearhead and start, it mushrooms. It is all over the place. It's doing great things left and right and center. The workshops that Peter does on college campuses sometimes have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 kids there wanting to challenge and debate and talk about ideas. He's on podcasts, this, that, and the other. And you always know that the only reason he's there is because you, Sally, were pushing him and helping him do that in the past. But now his wife, Marcia, is getting a lot of the attention. And Sally goes, and Sally's over there doing whatever it is that she's doing. She's working for different companies, and she's having a little bit of difficulty staying with companies for longer than like 2 years for some reason. But I digress there. But Sally decides that she's going to start her own little venture discussing political commentary in her own space. And so she has a voice, and she starts building a little bit of a following. So Sally has her own little following. Peter is doing the thing that he's doing, and it definitely overshadows what Sally's doing. And matter of fact, Sally at one point even started her own little micro organization that actually got gobbled up by Peter's organization. And because she was dealing with a particular ethnic group, and Peter's organization wanted to be able to minister and reach out to those ethnic groups. So they ended up gobbling up Sally's organization. So she still had some kind of connections with the larger group that Peter started, but really she was just a name. She was a figurehead at best. And she was just a name. Most people know her for her little venture that she's doing, her own little radio podcast situation. Well, time goes by. Marcia and Peter, they have they're growing. They have a great family growing. Sally and her husband, they're growing. They have a great family going and stuff like that. Sadly, by just the fate that it works out like that, Peter dies. And there's a lot of upheaval because of Peter's passing. It was a terrible situation, and Peter passed away. Well, of course, everybody now is kind of wondering what's going to happen in that space that Peter used to fill, because that space was, Peter was a pretty big personality, if you will. He was the right kind of fit for that space. So who's going to fill in that space? And lo and behold, the board of directors, and by just the fates, Marcia jumps into that space that her husband Peter once filled just a few weeks before. And the board of directors says, hey, Marcia's going to fill in this block. Marcia's filling this block. And she went from being behind the scenes, not really the go-getter, not really out there in the face of this big organization. But now, with lots of people's blessings and lots of people's kudos and adoration, she now becomes the face of this organization and takes the place of her husband. Well, put a pin in that. The green-eyed monster that Sally had never got dealt with. She never dealt with her own resentment toward Marcia. So now, unpin that. Now we have a situation where Marcia is in the position that Marcia, whom Sally despises, is in the position that Sally feels like she should be in. She should have been Peter's wife. She should have been walking alongside him the whole time. But no, he chose somebody else. And now is outright, unadulterated war. Sally against Marcia. Sally throws all kinds of accusations about Peter's demise, about financials, about donors, about everything under the sun, because Sally wants to destroy Marcia. And anything that goes taken down, the organization that they built, the name recognition, the body of Christ, all that stuff is just collateral damage, because Sally wants to destroy Marcia. So I thought that would be, and that's the end of story time with Mr. Whitaker. And I think you all know where I'm going with this. I've been pondering this for a while. I've been thinking about this and saying, you know what? I think I now figured it out. I find the whole shenanigans with Candace Owens completely fascinating. It is fascinating my mind, because what I'm watching is a woman who, dare I say, has fan fictioned herself into a situation with Charlie Kirk, that she is now at war with the actual wife of Charlie Kirk, because in her mind, she should be the wife of Charlie Kirk. And in the live chat right now, there's several people. There's 83 folk in the best live chat on the internet. If you are a female, a woman, God bless you to be a woman, could you please just in the chat let me know, how would you feel if you were Sally? How would you feel if you were in this situation where you thought he was going to pick you? He was going to tap you to be this bride, only to pick somebody else that looks demonstratively different, dare I say, light years ahead of you in the physical, as well as the spiritual, as well as the mental state of being a wife. You can't compare. How would you feel if that were you? If you don't mind, tap in. Let me see. Oh, no, it's story time with Jason. My name is Jason, but I like story time with Nathan. I like that too. I would have to ask God God to forgive me for hating Sally, I probably have to ask it every day. I would keep my mouth shut about it. But how would you feel internally? Even if you didn't do anything externally, Tina, how would you feel externally? I'm sorry, internally. How would you feel internally? Would you be sunshine and rainbows? Like, oh yeah, that's great. Or would you have some kind of a internal consternation? Well, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. I wouldn't feel great at all. Thank you, band shirt. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you like that. Sally needs to have self-respect and quit. The second woman, Sally. Sally's the one that walked alongside with Peter to start this organization. How would you feel if you were Sally? I would never want her to know. Okay. And again, I don't need you to go out there and put it out there in front of people, but what would be your internal constitution if you're like, this dude done married, that's supposed to be my, how would you feel? I would have gotten over like a mature adult. Now we're not going to have that conversation about, because you use some words in here that we don't use, like mature adult. It definitely would be a bummer, no doubt. So I would move on because I married somebody else. I agree. I don't think she did, though. I'm a woman, and I can see the hatred, anger, and jealousy, and therefore the need to seek revenge. Yikes. Thank you so much. Who done it? I appreciate it. I might be jealous, but I wouldn't attack and make accusations like that. Now, hear what I'm saying. I want to start with how you would be internally. Like, here's an example. If you were Sally and you knew that Marsha was sick, would you be able to pray for Marsha without any kind of issue? Or would you just do like the headache prayer, God bless her, and keep it moving? Or would you really, really pray for Marsha? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get to. That's what I'm trying to dig down into. Because I think that's what we're watching. Every day when we tap in, I just literally finished a video about her and it hit me. I think we're watching a woman that in her mind had created a narrative that doesn't really exist. And when the cold bucket of reality hit her, AKA Charlie Kirk married Erica, it really it never went away. That's my thought. And I'm going to give you another example. I'm going to explain a little bit more why I believe that there's a high level of this issue between Candace and Erica and where I think that ultimately goes. Oh, thank you so much. That's a great point. 2 Samuel 12, 1-14. Good catch. Yeah, if you put yourself in Sally's mindset, I think it is not the craziest thing in the world. I would not waste my energy and be grateful for the life God gave me. That is the right response. I don't think that she's making that response, though. Well, let me just back it up. We don't have any evidence that she is doing that. Did you notice that I've been doing a search? I've not seen a picture of Erica Kirk and Candace Owens together. Now, I might be wrong, and I'm sure somebody's going to send me a picture, dearwokec@gmail.com. But I've never seen a picture of them together. Never. I also did not see Candace Owens at the Kirk wedding. Just something, again, just something to theorize, just throwing it out there. And again, if somebody sends me a picture and they're like, dude, she was right there, then I will gladly eat crow. I'm not gonna eat my hat, but I will eat crow and say I was wrong. Also, it just seems odd to me that, well, most of us, and I'll use me as an example, because I have and y'all have heard me talk about my brothers from college and my sisters from college, and it's such of that nature. Because of our relationship, they have relationships with my family, my wife, and my kids. So when my wife took us on a cruise for my 50th birthday, all of my brothers came with me and their wives. And there were many nights when the guys would go sit around on the deck and talk trash for hours, and all of our wives would hang out and do stuff together. A lot of them know each other, have met each other over the years. And I'm just saying, like, there's a camaraderie. Well, some of them, we're each other's children's godparents. I'm Craig's godparents, I'm Eric's godparents, and it's such of that nature. How, and these are what I would consider my really good friends, right? Why is Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk not any of Candace Owens' kids' godparents? And vice versa. Why is Candace Owens and her husband not Charlie Kirk's or Erica Kirk's children's godparents? It would seem like that, being the fact that she made a big case that they were the best friends on the block, right? But they don't even fellowship together with their children, which again, just seemed like a very easy thing to do. Now, you don't have to be state in the same place to do that, but like, why are y'all not connected like that if y'all were that close of friends? It just seems weird. So my last theory, since I said, hey, Candace be throwing out crazy theories and I can throw out crazy theories too. I think, looking at the timeline of when Charlie Kirk met Erica and when Candace Owens left TPUSA, do you know the distance of time between that, when Charlie Kirk and Erica started dating publicly and when Candace Owens announced that she was leaving Turning Point USA? Does anybody know the amount of time? You want to put in the chat how much time passed between those two events? Anybody want to take a stab? Three days. You wild. Only months. Okay. A month or two. I like it. All right. 2 months. I like it. So again, my research could be suspect. Charlie Kirk and Erica went on their official date in September of 2018. Candace Owens announces her departure from Turning Point USA in, drumroll please, May 2019. So we're looking at about 9 good months? And I'm only wondering, I'm just speculating. Again, she theorizes. I can theorize too. She must have been very difficult to work with. She might have once it became clear and evident that Charlie Kirk was dating this young lady who's demonstrably, there was a big difference in the way they looked. If you go back and look at what Candace looked like in 2018, she did not look like she looks now. If you look at what Erica Kirk looked like in 2018, yeah, we're not in the same. we are not talking about the exact same thing. We're not. So Charlie Kirk is dating this young woman and has said, probably publicly, probably without that, hey, I want to marry this woman. So Candace is probably looking like, dang, I thought I was going to be somewhere in this mix, but no, you're not. She probably became very difficult to work with. Now, do I know this emphatically? No. He upgraded. He upgraded significantly. Do I know this emphatically? No. But does Candace know? Nah. So she be speculating. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to speculate too. Show me the receipts. But my point is, I wonder if she had become very difficult to work with. Now, wait, Jason, earlier you mentioned something about longevity at your job, and I'm glad that you brought that back up. Thank you for reminding me to talk about that. I noticed that a lot of the businesses and jobs that she stayed at or she was at, Candace has not been there very long. And I'm just wondering, just a theory, that she was a difficult woman to work with. And I think because she was extremely heartbroken over this fan fiction relationship that she had with Charlie Kirk, that he was supposed to be my man, and we were supposed to build Turning Point USA global and intergalactic in the multiverse, and she did not get picked. She did not. He picked this, demonstrably different looking woman with different values and different structure, and they're out there doing some great things. And I'm wondering if that's why she had all of these falling outs with other places as well, because she just was becoming a difficult woman to work with, to the point that she just said, you know what, I'm gonna start my own thing. I'm gonna do my own thing in my basement studio. And now we are where we are now today. It's my speculation. It's my theory. There's no tinfoil in the hat, but that's just my thought. I've been pondering it today. And I said, maybe, just maybe, the reason Candace is so vitriolic, and let's just be honest, if you watched yesterday's episode, there's going to be hell to pay at Turning Point. She just accused Turning Point of deleting Charlie. Now, did she say that verbally? No, but good and doggone well, that's where she's going. And 5:00 today, she goes back live. We'll do it again. We'll do a watch party and just make fun of it. But we know that's where she's going. And would she not desire to destroy? Well, why would she want to do that? Because the only people there are people that don't support her. It's Erica Kirk, for crying out loud. And she's the one that took your man. So why would she not want to crater Turning Point and accuse them of being bullied by Jews and this, that, and the other? And maybe they were the ones that put the hit out on them because they had some financial issues and Doge and all this stuff. And they had a big money train coming, but Charlie was going to change his viewpoint and blah, blah, blah. Am I crazy? I'm not crazy at all. So, no. Happy, holy, healthy life. I love that. I like that. No, I think a lot of us have been thinking this. I talked to several people that are in the comments, actually, and more than a few have thought this, and nobody wanted to go there. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to come out here. I'm not saying that they were, creating a beast with two backs. I'm not saying that at all, because I have no reason to believe that. But I am going to say we've heard more stories than we probably want to admit of somebody getting emotionally tied up with somebody that they never had physical contact with. And I'm just wondering, did Candace allow herself to get emotionally caught up in this situation to believe that Charlie Kirk, I'm going to be married to Charlie? I bet you if we could go back in time and talk to Candace Owens back in 2017, she'd probably say she's going to be married to Charlie. Only to find out that he picks this beauty pageant queen that demonstrably looks different than Candace. We got to make sure that is not to be overlooked. That is not to be overlooked. Because Candace did not get a glow up until much later. But remember what she looked like back in 2018. I'm not trying to pick on her, but there's a difference. There was a difference. Some of y'all are crazy in these comments. So, but this is a point, like right here. Look at this right here. Candace is all in her feelings. Why? Because she thought she was going to be the woman. And this is now that Charlie's gone, the for lack of a better term, the governor is off. The mask is off, and she can be as vitriolic as she probably has been. Hence why you don't see any pictures with her and Erica. I can almost guarantee you, I have a picture of my wife with every one of my good friends from college, every one of their wives. Every last one of them. Every one of them. And some of them they go out together. Like my Spelman sister, Nene, my wife and her go to concerts together all the time. And I got pictures of them doing all that. Can you show me one picture of Erica and Candace Owens doing something together, like Kiki, girlfriend, hanging out, doing something? I'll wait. It don't exist. Now, if you find one, dearwokec@gmail.com. But I think oh no, I agree. I'm trying not to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to do that. Okay, let me see it. If you could send it to me, Taylor, I appreciate it. Dearwokec@gmail.com. And I will gladly say that I was wrong. Or send me the link or whatever that nature. I'll gladly say it. If I'm wrong, I am wrong. But that was my thought today. Now y'all know what if you were ever wondering, what does this crazy guy be thinking during the day? I wonder what that nut is thinking. Well, this is some crazy stuff I'd be thinking. So I'm going to give, you know what? I'm going to get, look, I couldn't even find that, Bella. I couldn't even find a wedding. So if you send me a picture of them at a wedding together, look, at least we got something. I don't even have that. I couldn't find a picture of Erica Kirk and Candace Owens together, period. Now, I mean, again, I still don't think that would be like girlfriendy, because I've gone to weddings with my wife and I don't even know these people. Like, okay, the chicken was good. They did the cha-cha slide. There we go. Email me at dearwokec@gmail.com. A Romanist, I believe, is right here, a Roman Catholic. Candace married her husband. She married her husband. They announced their engagement in February of 2019, and they got married in August. They had two weddings. They had a private ceremony on August 6th and a formal public wedding on August 31st of 2019. Oh, well, there we go. I'm over just talking. Now, they did propose. That's a little bit different too. We're not going to even go there, but he did propose to her 18 days after they met. That is correct. But all I'm trying to say, my whole point in this was, I'm wondering if we're watching an emotional, we like to use the term crash out. You know, I like to use crash out. But I'm wondering if what we're watching is Candace really crashing out because she wants to get her lick back on Erica, because Erica took from her the man that she thinks she deserved, the man that was supposed to be hers. Just a thought. And she can, I mean, just a crazy thought, even though, you know, yeah, she's married. Yeah, she got kids. And what does that mean? I mean, people have done far worse. And I'm just wondering if that's what we're watching when we watch Candace crashing out. And I'm I'm in full belief that before the end of the week, she's going to label TP USA like the mafiosa. TP USA is going to have like made men. They're going to have, you know, they're going to have bodies. They're out here doing, I'm fully expecting her to make up this complete crazy story about it. And that's what I'm expecting to happen. And she probably, I mean, she kicked it off yesterday, really hightail with, they deleted Charlie because they were going to bring her back and such of that nature. And which is crazy word. But am I crazy though? And so somebody said, you should ask the ladies of your audience what they think. And it seems like most ladies agree that it would have been a little bit difficult. Now, some are mature enough to say, hey, I would have just kept it moving and you know, bygones be bygones. She got her own husband, keep it moving. But most of us said, yeah, he probably would have felt some kind of way. And I think that's fair. Now, of course, acting upon that feeling some kind of way, nobody's giving any quarter for that. All right, let's see what you got. George called Candace and said, God said we're supposed to be together. And Candace said, I was like, okay. I wouldn't be surprised. Right. Charlie and them got married in May 2021. Is that what I got on my notes? Yes. Yep. I got May 8th, but I'll let you have May 21st. Candace and George got married on August 31st, 2019. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I got that. Okay. What do we got here? Lots of good commentary back and forth. And I just wanted to throw it out there am I crazy? Is this a crazy wackadoodle idea that maybe that's why she's behaving like this? And I mean, she's going scorched earth, right? And I'm pretty sure she's going to say something, I mean, diabolical. But yes, we're still talking about Candace no wins, Michael. But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting take. And I just want to hear what y'all thought about it. She's just on a power trip. I think she wants to get her lick back. Oh, well, there we go. I can ask questions. There we go. I can ask questions too. Yeah. And we've seen this, of course. But the reason I saw this a couple days ago and I was like, well, where was she scorned? And I thought about it, noodled it around a little bit and thought a little bit more about it. Like, oh, she's scorned because she thought she was going to be his wife. That's where the scorn came from, when she wasn't made the wife. And Erica clearly was the right fit for him, but she just felt some kind of way. So my very last point on that, and I do appreciate y'all jumping in, and I know I was just kind of all over the place after story time. My very last point is, this is why I don't think Erica Kirk should address Candace Owens. Candace Owens has all of the barbs ready for Erica Kirk. And we clearly see that she has no problem with finessing, stretching, creating her own reality as it relates to the truth. So I would hate for Erica Kirk to get up and say something, address Candace Owens directly or tacitly or such of that nature, and then Candace Owens come out the bag and say some of the most ridiculous stuff possible. Man, I think we all know in the back of our minds, yeah, she probably could. And you probably know some of the things she would probably make up. She'd probably say, again, because she's already proven she'll say anything without receipts. So what would stop her if Erica said something and she wants to go after Erica? She wants to attack Erica. And of course, Turning Point, the body of Christ, Charlie's legacy, all those things are just collateral damage to the fact that Erica Kirk took her man and she wants to get her lick back. So if Erica Kirk addresses her, now she has permission to do exactly what she's trying to do. And she'll probably say some wild stuff. That's why I don't think Erica Kirk and Turning Point USA as a whole should even address Candace. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Because if you say something, she's going to twist that. She's going to run with it. If you say nothing, she's going to twist that and run with it. You can't win. Just let her just sit over there in the corner and keep talking to herself and limp bunnies and stuff like that. That's just my thought. What do we have here? I appreciate y'all jumping in with me for sure. All right. I see some good conversation going on. Good family reunion happening. I love when y'all are having conversation back and forth in the chat. My email is dearwokec@thegmail.com. Oh, here it is right here. Oh, there you go. Bang. Thank you, Taylor. There's my email right there. And I'm opening up the email box as we speak. See if there's anything popping off in the email. I appreciate it. All right, got my email ready. So look me up. All right. Oh, I appreciate you, Jennifer. Thank you so much. Oh, don't you even worry about it. Just make sure you hit that like button. Thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate that for sure. That's an interesting point. Jen says there, in the mind of a narcissist, everybody sees them as the one that got away. Okay, I can see that. I can perfectly see that. Steph says her husband's probably encouraging she'll make millions off of Charlie's death and they got to pay those legal bills somehow. I don't think they're as despondent as she tried to position herself, but I totally believe they're making money off it. No question about it. Also, if she wasn't being reunited with TPUSA, that means that she was out of TPUSA. That is correct. Oh, this is a great question. I wonder how their home life is being affected. Wonderful question. I'd love to know. All right, let's see. Here we go. Shout out to a Taylor. I don't know how did I miss this picture? All right, let's go. All right, Taylor, shout out to her. Sent me, we got the great minds over here. Let me make this picture a little bit bigger. All right, well, here it is. And even my face is on it. Shout out to her putting my face on it. Was I at the wedding too? How you do that to me? I'm batting a 0 over here, y'all. All right, here we go. All right, there's a picture of them together. So I was wrong. All right, there they are together. Shout out, thank you so much, Taylor. Then I take that back. Now, I am not trying to qualify my statement. I do think weddings are a little bit different, but the reality cannot be denied. They are together in a picture. I said I could not find a picture of them together. There we go. So I will, you know what? I will finish drinking the rest of my iced coffee in honor of that. All my coffee's gone. I'm kind of sad, but good catch. Thank you so much for that, Taylor. I appreciate you. And I will go ahead and eat crow. Turn on the big green egg. Grill me some crow today. All right, what do we have here? I see, again, there's tons of good conversation here. Well, I got receipts, as we see. Mila says this. What's scary is she taught her fans her conspiracy methods so that she just plants the seed and they come up with new and wild theories. Oh, come on. And accusations against anybody she's aiming at. That's a very true point. Mila, thank you so much for that. Very, very keen observation. Oh, no, that's no question about it, that I believe she has main character syndrome. If you're not familiar with main character syndrome, it's just the idea that every story, the plot leads to you. Like you are the main character of every story. Yes, Mr. Farmer, please forgive me, her husband is in the Macron case because he's funding her podcast. So Candace, her LLC, and her husband's business are all being sued in the Macron lawsuit. And I just read yesterday, I did a quick video last night, that they've amended the lawsuit because Candace keeps talking. So they have new things from her time on Tucker Carlson, her videos that she did after she received the lawsuit, all that. So they actually amended the lawsuit, and we don't know exactly when it's coming, but it's still in process. So thank you, friend. Appreciate you, Taylor. It's a sad state of affairs, Kelly, but I don't think you're wrong. Yes, do what Piggy Doo said. Make sure you hit that like button. Thank y'all. I don't know. That's a great question. Observation station. What's her obsession with Kanye? I think, you know what? I think we should back up a little bit further. Before we get to Kanye, back up a little bit more. What is her obsession with Israel? Why does everything end with Israel? Like it's almost like a punctuation mark. You got a question mark, exclamation point, period, Israel did it. Like, why is that? Again, you can still think that Israel does a lot, but why is every sentence punctuated with Israel? That makes no sense. So I think that's a better question. Why is she so obsessed with them? Because I think that will lead to why she's obsessed with Kanye. Because it's not because of his music. It's not because of his collaboration with Adidas. It's definitely not for his fashion sense. Why is she so infatuated with him? Because of his equal obsession with Israel. That would be my take on it, though. But I think that's a good question, though. All right. I wouldn't be surprised, Kelly, if that does actually happen. Don't want it, but I wouldn't be surprised. All right. Juju B, she probably thinks that she's entitled to something. Absolutely. No question about it. Right. That's Candace's wedding picture. And shout out to Taylor for sending it to us. All right. I see some good conversation going on. It doesn't mean they're friends. That is true. I was only pointing out, like, I don't even see them together. So at least I've seen them together. So I gotta call a spade a spade. I saw that too, dog, Rachel. I'm not a body language expert, but I did see that. Let me real quick pull it back in. I should download it so I can open it up in here. I saw that as well. Here, let me download it. Now I can open it up over here. Shout out to her, like. I see it. There's definitely I'm not leaning in type of body language. Because if you look here, this young lady right here, she's definitely leaning in toward Candace. Whereas this one, she's leaning away from her. I just wonder what their dynamic was like pre Charlie Kirk's murder. What were they? Were they friends? Did they talk on the phone? Did they hang out at all? You said Candace is leaning away from Erica? I think it's like Erica's kind of leaning back like this, in my opinion, but. All right. Lots of good conversation. I don't know. She never, like, go spend time with your kid, Candace. All right, I'm just scanning through the comments. Y'all, thank you so much. What's going on, Chicago conservative? All right. Thank you so much, Chicago conservative, for the $2 super. Because I don't believe that Kanye West is a Christian. Because I don't believe Candace Owens is a Christian. Anything could be on the table. So shoot me a text message, or rather shoot me an email, Chicago Conservative. Thank you so much. Great conservative up there in Chicago. Y'all, Chicago is doing a lot of stuff. There's going to be a lot of changes going on in Chicago, hopefully. So shout out to Chicago's conservative for sure. Thank you, Tina. That's me over there, that old Twitter, Mr. J Witt. That's me. Okay. Please, somebody. Okay. Holland said, because y'all done threw out there the whole lavender marriage. All right. A lavender marriage is when a man who is not straight, not heterosexual, a gay man marries a woman, and she's aware that this man is gay. And they marry really on paper only, really in ceremony only. They're not engaging in the activities of a married couple. But the man doesn't want people to know that he is homosexual. So he marries a heterosexual woman, and the woman's like, okay, fine, we can be basically roommates, because this gives her somebody, a roommate, somebody to help out with the bills, so on and so forth. And he can pretend that he's actually heterosexual. So that's what they mean by that. Do I watch her content regularly? Because it doesn't seem like you do. Okay, tell me what I'm missing. Tell me what I'm missing. Because I've watched quite a bit of it. Literally, I watch it. I do it. I take one for the team. So tell me what I'm missing. Please let me know. This black man seems like he hates Candace. Really? Man, okay. I don't know who it is. That's wild, man. You literally talk about somebody's behavior and all of a sudden it's hate. Okay, all right. I guess if you say so. I guess since the Candace people, they don't have to have receipts, they don't have to have evidence, so therefore they can just say stuff. So I guess you're following right along with that, Limitless. I guess you can say that. Hats off to you. Say what you want to say, I guess. All right. Hope that works out for you. Yeah, I want to see what the comment that I don't watch her content. And what am I missing? I want to see that. Jay Witt, how can I be paid to slander Candace too? I don't know. Tell me. When you find out, let me know. Because see, nobody can honestly, shout out to Limitless. Y'all, shout out Limitless in the chat. See, nobody can actually have an issue with Candace's ideology. Oh, no. You got to be paid to do it. But see, I've been talking about her since early on in the Macrones, where the Macrones paying me and then they like pass me off to who else? See, that's where your silliness comes in. And by the way, you have no proof or evidence that I'm being paid. So you're just saying something. Now, if you want to drop a receipt and say, hey, look, I see you were paid by Mossad. Okay, well, do it. Otherwise, shh, be quiet. Hush now. Shout out Limitless in the chat. This is very interesting because Turning Point was pro-Israel. Daily Wire is pro-Israel. They fired her, and her husband has said things that make you think that he's almost pushing her to anti-Israel. Oh, really? Okay. She has clear bias motives to hate Israel. Okay. Well, there we go. Which is a very interesting point. She does have a large Muslim audience. That's very interesting. As an alleged Christian, I'm just saying, it should cause you to pretty interesting. I see some good conversation in the chat. I want to see if my friend is going to help me see where I missed something. All right, good conversation in the chat. Y'all, thank y'all so much for having a good dialogue going on. Thank you so much to the moderators, as well as our channel members and the such of that nature, for helping keep this thing moving in the right direction. I appreciate y'all. I did not see Megan interviewing Erica, but how about this one? Because I think she's going to drop another video at 5 o'clock. So I'm going to try to be back from picking up Chief Executive Second Born. I'm going to try to be back in time to do that. And then we'll do the Megan Kelly. I'll find it real quick and have that one ready. How about that, Betsy B? I think that's from Erica. I think that's from Erica's social media. I don't think she photoshopped it in there. I think Erica actually took the picture, or Erica posted a picture. I don't know. That's a good question. Where is your husband, Brandy? I don't know where is it. Everybody said they see him. I've only seen him one time, and that was when he allegedly debated Allie Beth Stuckey. That's the only time I've ever seen him. All right, I see some good conversation going on. I don't see my friend telling me how I got paid. I need to know how that happened. Limitless. Darn it. And then where's my other friend that said that I hate her? That's kind of harsh. I don't see him. I think they might have dipped on out. I don't think Charlie was married first. I think Candace Owens got married before Charlie. Let me look at my timeline. They're on the first date. Candace and George get married. Candace and George got married in August 2019. Charlie didn't even propose to Erica until December 2020. They haven't been married that long. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Charlie and Erica got married in 21. So they haven't been married but hardly 4 years. Hey, where's Limitless? Limitless is still here. We got Candies in the chat. Let's go. Come on. You know, I like when the Candies stop by. I do like when they stop by. But shout out to Jessica reminding us, please make sure you hit that like button. Okay. I like it. I like it. All right. Good stuff going on. I don't see Limitless in the chat. But yeah, if you think that I'm being paid to call out Candace, feel free to email me. Email me your receipts. Like, Jason, here's the pay stub I got from 1-800 call out Candace. And I know you're getting paid to call out Candace, because there's no other reason why one would call out Candace and her false teaching. One would call out Candace and her sketchy investigation. Nobody would call out Candace for any of the other myriad of reasons except they're getting paid to do it. So if you have that, email management, let me know. Call me out. Thank you so much, Brandy. So where is her beta husband in all this? I don't know, but I thank you for the $2 super. I appreciate you. Amia, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you, love. What am I missing here? Oh, I see MT is in the building. What he means is that you all are monetized. Oh, really? So let me just make sure I have this correct. Because let's say Limitless has a job and you go to work. Are you not compensated for the work that you do, Limitless? I'm just wondering. I mean, you're a football coach, you're a bus driver, you're a deep sea basket weaver. Do you not get compensated for that said work? I just want to make sure I have it right. Are you doing this because just for the love of the game? Or do you do it because you're compensated? Just asking a question. And do you do things, if you have the ability to do it, that you really enjoy doing and be compensated for it? Let me just make sure I understand that right. Where is the sin in that? You're providing a service, a value, a product to your customers, your audience, and you're compensated for it. And they say, we find value in that. And they give you compensation. Show me where the sin is in that. I'll wait. Let me make sure I understand that. Well, I'm glad I do. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, love. Hey, I saw MT in the building. Thank you so much for the $5 super. It says, there have been rumors of her husband being closeted for years. Men have even publicly stated he hit on them. So make of it what you will. No, I've heard it as well. And it just seems interesting, but I'm gonna let that one marinate because I'm sure it'll come out when it does, when it's supposed to, for sure. We didn't have any bees conversation today, crime, crochet, and coffee. I don't think so. We had no bees today. But we do want to like that video, though. So, yeah, I don't see Limitless in here anymore. I think Limitless and his friend left. This is a great question. Like, I would love to see a deep dive into Islamic propaganda influence into the U.S. I think we should. That would be great because we do need to have an honest conversation about that here in the States. One 1-800 can't kinda crazy. Y'all are wild. I like that. Why don't you say kinda? If you say kinda, that would actually even work even better. Courtside. Well, if you're interested in my PayPal, my Cash App is a $ Mr. J Witt. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you. All right. So Erica is 1,000% shady herself. Wow. 1,000%? Really? How did you get that? I would love to know. If you don't mind, just to ask questions, because we are all shady because we're all sinners. So I'm not saying that somebody's perfect, but what is your evidence that you use to say that Erica's shady? Because that's pretty demonstrative. Like, how do you make that claim that she's shady? I would love to see that. Like, what is shady in that regard? Yeah, I don't see any content from him. So I will say this. I believe Candace is dropping her video today at 5. Yup. You all have said that you like doing the watch party. And so as soon as I know for a fact, it might just be like spur of the moment, because yesterday she dropped it, announced it at like 4:45 and it was like at 5:15. So not a lot of time between them. But if you all like, we'll keep doing the watch party and we'll just watch them and have fun together and kiki about it. If you don't mind, I would love to hear your thoughts about my theory as relates to, if you just jumped in, please go back and watch my theory about why Candace behaves like she does. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on that. And give me, feel free. I've already got 2 emails from people. So if you want to email management, email me. Let me know if you don't want to put it in the comment section. That's perfectly fine. But yes, please make sure you like the video. I agree with Tina. But I'd like to know, like, what do you think about why she behaves like she's behaving? I would love to get your thoughts on that in the comments down below, of course. And we'll do the watch party. Even if the times are off, we'll just watch it. And then if we have to rewind it or watch a little bit on TiVo, a little bit of delay, that's fine. But I would love to see what you all think as the wheels on this bus come off, because the wheels on the Candace bus are clearly falling off. I'm just looking through here. Lots of good conversation. I appreciate y'all. Y'all, thank you so much. There was almost 250 of y'all in here at one point. And I want to say thank you. It means a lot that y'all rock with me and like coming over here. And again, even though middle of the day, just have a crazy idea, I said, let me come in here and talk about it. I was on the phone with my sister. I'm like, if you don't get off this phone with me, you're gonna be on the live stream with me. So I appreciate it, y'all. Thank you so much for rocking. Thank you so much for giving me your insight and all that kind of good jazz. Feel free to, of course, hit me up on the email, dearwokec@gmail.com. They put it back in there. And I'm looking forward to doing this real soon. And we will be back this evening. Let's just do it probably at 5 o'clock when she drops her next video. We'll go look at it and see what happens. Yesterday she ended on a cliffhanger. They were going to call me back to TPUSA. Let's see if she comes back and talks about that. Maybe she'll come back and talk about the letter. Maybe she'll dissect Bibi Netanyahu's letter, or maybe she'll dock some college student again. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all real soon. Grace and peace. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.